This video was compiled using information which was made public via news or government agencies and is intended to honor the lives of those who met an unimaginable fate and also bring awareness to the unjust behaviors in our communities. A life taken far too soon. This is a story of 3-year-old Kejuan Mason. In March 2017, Geraldine Mason was arrested on a reckless conduct charge. The mother of 4 children at the time, they were put in the custody of the Division of Family and Children Services. According to reports kept by the department, Geraldine was subsequently accused of leaving her children at home alone, but even worse, she was also accused of abusing Kiwan and 3 of his siblings. Upon her release in April 2017, Geraldine was reunited with one of her children. She requested temporary guardianship for Kiwan and his twin brother Kerry, but since she did not have a place to live, suggested that 25-year-old Glendria Morris, the boy's godmother, act as their guardian. When Geraldine visited her sons, she noticed that they had cuts and bruises. She made a report to law enforcement, who Glendria later told that the injuries were from the boys playing with each other, but their mother did not believe that story. Geraldine went as far as asking a Fulton County judge to remove the children from the home, but the request was denied. Records from Children's Services indicated that the mother had abused her children and had extreme temper issues.
You said he's not awake, he's not alert?
No, he's not alert. He was breathing at first. Now he's not breathing.
3 days later, a 911 call was placed from inside a Southwest Atlanta apartment on Cleveland Avenue. The caller stated that 3-year-old Kejuan Mason was not alert. She claimed that the boy was breathing at first but had stopped. The 911 dispatcher then instructed the caller to administer CPR to the young child until police and paramedics arrived. Shortly after, in an effort to further assess the situation, the dispatcher asked if he was now breathing, to which the caller said no. According to Glendria Morris, she had given the child a cupcake which caused him to choke. Her and another man in the apartment were performing CPR. Further inquiries led Atlanta police officers to ask for the name and phone number of Kiwan's mother. In their reports, the officers stated that Glendria and another woman, LaShirley Morris, did not want to cooperate with those questions. At the time of the gruesome incident, 3 adults and 4 children were in the house, which was later described as roach-infested. Glendria then decided to change her story and said that the boy choked, but after she removed the cupcake, he began breathing and talking again. She said the boy went to sleep and later stopped breathing and was unresponsive. Paramedics told police it appeared the boy hadn't been breathing for quite some time and he was rushed to Atlanta Medical Center, where unfortunately he was pronounced dead. Family members gathered at Washington Park, where they held candles and prayed for King.
Your loving arms and your angels down upon them.
In the flickering candlelight, a family huddles together, holding each other tightly, tears rolling down their faces for 3-year-old Kejuan Mason. Everyone called him King.
He was just a baby. He was so sweet, loving, caring.
King's mother was initially told he had choked to death.
Oh, he choked off a cupcake. I knew
knew right then it wasn't right. I just knew right then. But I had that feeling. My mother had that feeling. I had that feeling that something was going wrong.
On October 24th, 2017, Atlanta police received a report from the medical examiner's office which indicated the cause of death and the manner of death as blunt force trauma. Atlanta Police Lieutenant Carvin Tyus announced that a criminal investigation was underway. 2 days later, APD officers arrested Glendria and LaShirley Morris, and they were booked into the Fulton County Jail. The autopsy confirmed that Mason died from blunt force trauma to his torso area and head. The examination also revealed that he had bruises on his head, arms, legs, back, chest, and buttocks. By this time, Glendria was still in the groove of changing her story and even went as far as saying that he passed away because first responders took too long to get to their apartment. 3 months later, a Fulton County grand jury indicted the sister on 2 counts of felony murder, 1 count of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the first degree each. If convicted, the sisters faced a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. The pair were previously granted bond in the sum of $200,000 as the district attorney's office did not indict them within 90 days of their arrest per Georgia law.
Tonight, but Vinny, this is where things get very interesting. According to the Fulton County Jail website, these 2 sisters have already been granted bond, which is really unusual in a murder case, but the bond was granted before the indictment came down this evening. So our question to the DA's office tonight is, what happens now? Will these 2 sisters be able to walk out of jail on bond?
According to the indictment, on October 21st, 2017, LaShirley picked up a baseball bat and struck 3-year-old Kejuan Mason for taking a cupcake from the kitchen. The document went on to state that LaShirley used the bat to hit Kiwan repeatedly in the head, while Glendria used her hand to spank him on his bottom. As a result of this attack, Kiwan sustained bruises all over his body. A Division of Family and Children's Services report stated that a child inside the home had witnessed the attack. During a June 2018 court appearance, Glendria's attorney asked the court to lower her bond to between $75,000 and $50,000. Kiwan's grandmother could not hold back her reaction as she immediately made a tearful plea against the lowering of the woman's bond. She informed the court that Glendria had already told her that the child was beaten because of a cupcake prior to the release of the autopsy findings.
At a pretrial hearing, it was Kejuan's grandmother who cried out for justice for him.
And it's unfair. He was 3 years old. What can a baby do 3 years old to make you beat him to death?
In that hearing, the state agreed that Morris's bond should not be lowered, and the request was denied. LaShirley would not make it to trial as she entered a non-negotiated guilty plea on December 11th, 2018. She was subsequently sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. The case against Glendria Morris, who was charged for not intervening in the fatal beating, is still open. She's facing charges of murder, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children in Kiwan's death. I hope that the family of Kejuan Mason is able to find solace in the happy memories, and may his soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.